Next we have is Clausius-Clapeyron equation. According to this equation, dP by dt is equal to latent heat upon saturated temperature into Vg minus Vf, where our Vg is specific volume of gas or dry saturated vapor and Vf is specific volume of fluid, and latent heat is equal to enthalpy of evaporation. So Vf is less than V is less than Vg, which means that specific volume of gas is less than specific volume, which is less than specific volume of fluid, and specific volume is volume upon mass. V is less than critical volume, and critical volume is when mixture is heated, V increases to critical volume, that is level of which tells about the level of liquid raise. So when heat is added, it reaches to saturated liquid state. In that case, our del Q, sorry, this is rho Q, is equal to du plus pdv, and du is change in internal energy, which is equal to u2 minus u1 plus p into v2 minus v1. And specific enthalpy we know, H is equal to u plus p into v. So this is vapor compression refrigeration cycle. So vapor compression refrigeration cycle is graph between our pressure and specific enthalpy. So let me just redraw this diagram for you guys. So what we have is P versus H graph. In this is our refrigeration cycle. So we are given 4 temperatures at 4 different point 1, 2, 3 and 4, and this is 2 dash. So at the point 1, this point is our saturated vapor. This is the point where vapor enter into the system. Or it can be called as compressor inlet, or it is evaporator exit. And this portion is our vapor portion, and point 2, this is where superheated vapor is present. Superheated vapor, saturated vapor, superheated vapor. So here compressor inlet is present, so this point is our compressor outlet, and this point is also our condenser inlet. Okay, now at this point, saturated liquid at point 3, saturated liquid is present at this part of the curve. This is basically our curve, and it is divided into different parts. This part is saturated vapor is present, here superheated vapor, and here saturated liquid is present. Okay, so our compressor outlet was this, condenser inlet was this point. So we are moving point 1, 2, 3, 4, we are moving in this manner. So here compressor inlet is here, compressor outlet is here, condenser inlet is here, so condenser outlet would be point 3. So 3 is our condenser outlet, and we can say that if we extend this point, so this is 3 dash, this point is condenser temperature out, condensed temperature, this is our liquid portion, supersaturated liquid. So, and here the fourth point, this temperature would be, the temperature over here would be evaporator temperature, and it would be evaporator inlet, because this point was our evaporator exit outlet point, so it would be evaporator inlet. Okay, so this is QR, this is QS. So QR is basically our heat rejected, and QS is heat supplied. So what basically happens usually in questions, we are given different temperature, like we might be given condenser inlet or compressor inlet or condenser outlet, compressor outlet, any temperature would be given of any point, and we would have to calculate heat rejected or heat supplied in those questions. So there are few formulas. Please take a screenshot of this diagram because it is very important diagram. The process is flowing into this direction, from 1 to 2, then 2 to 3, then 3 to 4. So process flow is in this direction. So take a screenshot of this diagram. It is very important in solving questions. So let's see the formulas based on these to calculate our heat rejected and heat supplied. So heat rejected, which is basically QR, is M into H2 minus H3. Let's see in the diagram. It says that QR is QR, this portion, heat rejected from here, is M into H3 minus H2, which is H3, temperature of this point, minus H2, temperature of, enthalpy of this point and enthalpy of this point, H3 minus H2. Next we have COP. COP would be equal to refrigeration effect upon work done. So refrigeration effect is H1 minus H4. So this is 1, this is 0.4. So H1 minus H4, this is where refrigeration is taking place. So this is refrigeration effect by work done. Work done is H2 minus H1, this point, H2 minus H1. So this portion is refrigeration effect and this is our work done. So H1 minus H4 upon H2 minus H1 would give us COP. Next we have heat extracted or supplied, that is QS, this part. So it would be M into H1 minus H4. This would be H1 minus H4 into M would be QS. So if it is stated in question that the process is for throttling, which means pressure is decreased, in that case H3 would be equal to H4. H3 and H4 would be equal for throttling process. And power required for compressor. So compressor, we know that compressor inlet is 0.1, compressor outlet is 0.2. So power required for compressor would be M into H2 minus H1. So basically this diagram is very important to calculate all the terms like QR, QS and COP. It would be more clear to you guys when we would solve question based on it. So make sure to watch that video. Next we have few psychometric relations. First is humidity ratio, which is equal to mass of water vapor upon mass of dry air, and mass of moist air is equal to mass of dry air plus mass of water vapor. Specific humidity is equal to 0.62 into rho partial pressure by pressure minus partial pressure. I repeat, specific humidity is equal to 0.62 into partial pressure upon pressure minus partial pressure, and relative humidity indicated as phi is equal to partial pressure denoted as PV upon saturated pressure denoted as PVS. And specific humidity is constant when sensible heat is there, which means that heating is done in closed metallic vessel and there is no moisture there, and relative humidity would increase, then relative humidity would decrease. Next we have earlier we have studied vapor compression refrigeration cycle, for which our COP was refrigeration effect by work done, which was H1 minus H4 upon H2 minus H1. While in case of vapor absorption, see the difference, this is absorption refrigeration cycle, that was compression refrigeration cycle. For this, COP is 1 minus atmospheric temperature upon generator temperature into evaporator temperature upon atmospheric temperature minus evaporator temperature. So it is 1 minus atmospheric pressure is T0 upon generator temperature Tg into evaporator temperature Te upon atmospheric temperature T0 minus Te. Next we have temperature scale. This is based on a 0th law which we have studied earlier, that is for calculating thermometer temperature. So if we have to calculate temperature for a thermometer which has some which is operating on some x degree, like we know thermometer operates at degree Celsius and for Fahrenheit. So if it is operating on some x degree and we have to calculate that how much it is equivalent to our degree Celsius, so in that case we would use this formula, which is degree x of the scale for which we have to calculate minus freezing point of that scale upon boiling point of that scale for which we have to calculate minus freezing point of that scale is equal to degree Celsius, which is known to us, minus, we know that freezing point of degree Celsius scale is 0 upon boiling point of degree Celsius is 100 minus freezing point of our degree Celsius scale is 0. And similarly, if we would have to calculate in Fahrenheit, then we would put Fahrenheit minus the Fahrenheit scale temperature, freezing point temperature and boiling point temperature here to calculate it in terms of degree X scale. Next, we have already studied steady state flow, for which we have calculated the equation, that is kinetic energy plus potential energy plus mass into enthalpy of state 1 plus Q is equal to kinetic energy, potential energy plus m into enthalpy plus work done. So this is basically H. This is written in simplified form. Potential energy m cv delta t plus kinetic energy half m delta c square, c being the velocity here, and sorry, this is potential energy mg delta z, and this is internal energy mcv delta t. So this would be equal to total energy, and delta t is equal to W minus Q, work minus heat. Next is Rankine cycle, for which temperature versus entropy graph is in this form. This is the cycle, and T1 temperature 1, 2, 3 and 4. So it goes in this manner, and here is turbine work, and this between 1 to 2 and between 4 to 3 is pump. So to calculate Rankine cycle efficiency is equal to work net by Q, and net work is work done by the turbine between 1 to 2 and work done by pump between 4 to 3. So it would be equal to efficiency would be equal to H1 minus H2 for this portion, H1 minus H2 minus work of pump, which is H4 minus H3 upon QS being the heat supplied, which is H1 minus H4. So heat is being supplied from this side, QS, so it would be H1 minus H4. And for specific stream consumption is equal to 3600 by work net. Next, for an isentropic process, temperature versus entropy graph is given. So in that case, this is our actual work done. This, like, let me zoom in it a bit. So the cycle goes like 1 2 3 4, and 4 dash is our actual work, and this from 4 to 4 dash is isentropic work. So to calculate efficiency of isentropic work, it is actual work by isentropic work. Efficiency of isentropic is actual work by isentropic work. So actual work we can see is between T3 is and T4 dash. So actual work would be T3 minus T4 dash, and the isentropic work is between T3 and 4, this portion. This is isentropic work, so it would be T3 minus T4, and this is a formula of T3 by T4 is equal to P3 by P4 to the power gamma minus 1 upon gamma, where gamma is specific heat ratio.